What's up, Husker fans? Welcome to the latest episode of Shuck Talk. If you guys think Nebraska is going to get the win against Penn State, hit the like button. This tweet that came out today, the best college football programs of all time via the USA Today, they ranked Alabama first, Ohio State second, Oklahoma third, Texas fourth, Michigan's fifth, and Nebraska is all the way down at number 17. They got teams like Georgia, LSU, and Florida, Clemson, Oregon, Tennessee, all ranked ahead of Nebraska. I would put Nebraska in the top five, probably move Georgia down. I don't know. I'd put Nebraska closer to the top five than 17. They just feel way too low on that. Oregon's never even won a national championship. Maybe they've got one, but I don't know. Clemson, they got them ahead of us. They've got Florida ahead of us, which is just a bunch of bullshit, really. I think, at least. But anyway, Nebraska has a big game coming up. Coming off a bye week, we get to play Penn State at State College. It's going to be a night game, and not going to lie, it makes me nervous. The spread opened up. Nebraska was plus 10.5, which is a ton of points, honestly, considering Penn State is like they're 4-6 right now, and 14th in the Big Ten, and Nebraska's 7-3, and that's crazy to me. Why? Like, what? Penn State's not even going to make it. Well, I guess they could make it to bowl eligibility if they win, if they beat us and they beat Rutgers, but they've had a terrible season. Not live up to expectations. They went on a 6-game losing streak, fired their coach, and they finally beat Michigan State to end that 6-game losing streak. Nebraska's got the spread down to plus 8.5 now, so had some money come in on the Huskers and move that line a little bit. And in their last game, Penn State's last game against Michigan State, they ran the ball 50 times. 50 freaking times. That's unbelievable. So it shows that they're not afraid to commit to that rushing attack. I'm trying to pull up their stats real quick. 50 attempts, 240 yards on the ground. Insane numbers. They held Michigan State to 101 yards on 22 attempts. I think Nebraska is going to be able to run the ball on them. They're ranked 71st in the country in rushing yards allowed. They give up 148 yards, and Nebraska averages 137 yards, but that number has been up pretty significantly since they committed to the run. So, like last week, the game against UCLA, Nebraska had 156 yards on the ground. And we gave up 157 actually. And Penn State, they're gonna run that bitch. Their two running backs, Katron Allen and I believe his name's Nick Singleton. I don't know, I might have his first name wrong. They're both studs. They're both gonna play in the NFL. Allen is just like 40 yards away from breaking Saquon Barkley's all-time rushing record at Penn State, which is crazy considering the type of career that he had. He's also about to break 1,000 yards rushing on the season, which, cool. Emmett Johnson's got how many yards Emmett Johnson got? Yeah, 1,100 yards rushing. Which, fuck yeah, dude. Emmett Johnson, he's gonna get drafted. They're saying he might actually win Big Ten Back of the Year. So that's wild. Nebraska is really weak when we allow the opponent to get into the red zone. We're ranked, where is it at? I got it written down here. Allowing opponents to score 95.2% of their red zone trips. Guess I didn't write the ranking down, but it's bad. It's not good. Basically, we give up points every single time the opponent gets down there. The thing about this game here is both of these teams are pretty disciplined. Penn State's ranked 9th, 8th in penalty yards per game. So they're really low down there. Nebraska's ranked 20th. So Penn State's offense averages 30 points per game, 338 yards per game, 178 yards through the air, which is not a lot. Ranks 114th in the FBS. Their rushing yards they're 63rd at 159 rushing yards per game. On the opposite side of that, our defense is ranked 15th in yards allowed per game. We allow less than 300 yards per game. We allow 134 passing yards, and we're ranked 3rd. In rushing yards, this is where they're going to fucking kill us. This is where everybody's going to kill us. The script is out. Everybody's seen the tape by now, how to beat Nebraska. Ranked 93rd, we allow 162 yards per game. They just, and then their last game with the 50 attempts against Michigan State, they've shown that they're not afraid to commit to the run. Let's see. Our offense, we average 385 yards per game, and they give up 316 yards per game, which is 22nd in the FBS. So they're not too bad, And then they rank 12th in passing yards per game, but we're not going to be looking to pass the ball a ton. It's going to be same script as against UCLA, basically. TJ's going to throw the ball 15 times or so, and we're going to lean on his legs and Emmett Johnson's legs. Let's see. Our offense, we average 32.5 points per game, and Penn State, they only give up 21.1 points per game. All of their games that they've lost, I know they've got a shitty record right now, but why did it take that off of there? That's so stupid. All the games that they've lost, though, have been close games. Like, they took Oregon to overtime and lost. Oregon has a chance to be in the college football playoff. They likely will be in the college football playoff. Let's see. Oregon, they lost 30-24. And then UCLA, they lost 42-37. Lost to Northwestern by a point, 22-21. Iowa lost 25-24. And then Ohio State, okay, this is the only score that's more than one score. It's 38-14. And that game was close in the first half, if I remember correctly. Indiana, they lost by 3 points to Indiana, 27-24. And then they beat Michigan State 28-10. So they've played everybody close. And let's look at our losses real quick. Our first loss to Michigan was 30-27. And then the Minnesota game, I'm still to this day baffled at what happened against Minnesota. There's just no explaining that game. I don't get it at all. We lost that game 24-6, and then our next loss was USC 21-17, which I still think we'd have won that game if Raiola didn't get hurt. So this game's going to come down to the line of scrimmage, offensively and defensively for the Huskers. If we're going to win, our defensive line has got to step it up and stop the run. Those young guys, Keona Davis, he's been coming on the last 2 games. I think he needs to play where we've expected him to play this whole season. We expected him to be a game changer, So that needs to happen if we're going to win the game. And my prediction, actually, I have Nebraska winning this football game 20-17. Got to control the line offensively, open up holes for Emmett, protect TJ, open holes. That's all we need. Those are our 2 keys to the game offensively. Defensively, just stop the run, dude. Just fill your gaps, stop the run, tackle in the open field. we're going to give up yards. We're going to give up yards defensively. It's just a matter of basically bend it but don't break type of thing. Like hold them to field goals and then offense go score touchdowns. So that's my prediction. Nebraska 20-17. Alrighty, let's get to the top 25 showdowns. Rutgers versus Ohio State. It's an easy pick 'em. Ohio State. And then Samford goes to Texas A&M. Obviously taking Texas A&M. Missouri versus Oklahoma. Let's see the spread on that one. I didn't write down the spread for some reason. Scoreboard. Oklahoma is -5.5. Yeah, I'm going to take the Sooners. Miami versus Virginia Tech. I'm going to take Miami. They're a 17.5 point favorite. Charlotte versus Georgia. Georgia's such a big favorite that they don't even have a spread out. Oh, now they do. It's 43.5. Holy fucking shit. That's crazy. Obviously going to pick Georgia there. Eastern Illinois versus Alabama. Earlier when I was writing this down, there was no spread, but there's a spread now. It's 49 points. There's no hook. So, obviously picking Alabama. USC versus Oregon. Oregon's a 10.5 point favorite. I'm going to pick the upset. I'm going to pick USC. I think that's how, if the Big Ten is going to get a fourth school in there for the playoff, that's what's going to need to happen. I don't know how likely it is that a 3-win team even gets in the playoff, but if those two teams are both sitting there with 3 losses, I think that's, I don't know how you keep Oregon and USC out of there, really. I don't know. We'll see. I could be completely wrong. Notre Dame and Syracuse. I'm going to take the Irish. Vandy versus Kentucky. Vandy's an 8.5 point favorite. I'm going to take Vanderbilt. Texas versus Arkansas. Texas is -8.5. I want to take Texas, obviously. Tulane is -9.5 against Temple. I'm going to take Tulane, the Green Wave. Utah versus K-State. Hate K-State. I would never pick them even if I thought that they were going to win. So Utah. Michigan versus Maryland. I'm going to end up taking Michigan here. My bad. And then Houston versus TCU. I'm going to take TCU just because an upset feels right there. Pitt versus Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's 2.5 point favorite. Upset feels right. I'm going to take Pitt. Number 20, Tennessee versus Florida. Tennessee's 4.5 point favorite. I'm going to take Tennessee. BYU versus Cincy. BYU is -2.5. I'm going to go with Cincy. Let's see if that Husker win looks even better. ASU, Arizona State versus Colorado. Hate Colorado. We'll never pick them. So let's go Sun Devils. So if you enjoyed the video, that's going to be it for now. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, hit subscribe. Until next time, peace out. If you guys think Nebraska is going to get the win against Penn State, hit the like button.